Hello and welcome to Going Over Our Freds, the internet's best Fred Olin Ray podcast. And this is probably going to be the conclusion of our Fred Olin Ray as a producer season. As always, bringing Da Funk is Meredith.
Hi.
And bringing Da Noise is Noise. Mike Noyes is joining us because we can't do a season without him. How you been, Mike?
I'm doing all right
All
until I watch
right.
this movie.
And what did we watch this week, Meredith?
We watched Sorceress. Maybe it was called Temptress. Perhaps Temptress II. But no matter what it was called, it definitely came out in 1995.
Yeah, so hopefully we all watched the right one because this movie was directed by Jim Wynorski. Jim Wynorski also wrote a movie called Sorceress that was a Roger Corman movie from 1982 that was kind of a swords and sandals type of movie before he would go on to direct such classics as Deathstalker 2, another swords and sandals movie for, I think that was also for Roger Corman. I figured this might be our only opportunity to officially watch a Jim Wynorski movie,
Yeah.
who in many ways is a better director than Fred Olen Ray. He went to film school, but it's better when he's doing campy horror monstery stuff as opposed to kind of the late period Jim Wynorski movies of just boobs everywhere. But I don't know, is that describing this movie? Who can tell?
Before we get into the movie, I was going to say this was my third Wynorski movie. I had seen Chopping Mall and The Return of Swamp Thing.
Classics,
and Chopping
both
Mall
of
was
them.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
But before this record, I was like, well, I feel like I should watch some of the other like Wynorski essentials. So after I watched this, I did watch Munchie and what was the other one? You
Deathstalker
just
2?
said the name of it. Yes, Deathstalker.
Now, Deathstalker 2, we watched for a movie night a couple of months ago, and it has the best title drop of all time.
It really did. Like,
I'll
way to
have
start a
my
movie.
revenge. And Deathstalker 2, Deathstalker on screen.
And then I made the mistake of watching Deathstalker 1, which was like
Oh, yeah, not a Jim.
terrible.
Yeah, that's just sexual assault, the movie.
Yeah. I was just like, wow, like every scene was just like an assault scene. And I was like, okay, this is just bad. And like no camp, no fun. I was like, wow, Wynorski improved this franchise immensely with Deathstalker 2. But
Yeah.
anyway, we're out here today to discuss Deathstalker 2.
No, we're discussing Sorceress, aka Temptress, aka Temptress 2.
That's right.
How does this movie start, Meredith?
With a close-up on a basically naked woman's torso.
Like we started with this, and then it's like total in media res. It's how we start with Fantastic Four and Superman and the movies this year. It's the opposite of the Surf Dracula phenomenon on the internet. We are just getting right into it. So much so that I watched this through Hoopla because naturally everyone watches their softcore pornography using the library app.
That's what libraries are for, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I saw that there was play and play from the beginning, and I'm like, well, it's a library app. So maybe it's like a VHS, and they left it off in the middle. And after 5 minutes, I was like, no, I must be starting in the middle. So I hit the play from the beginning. And sure enough, the opening shot is Julie Strain, just completely naked except with a diaphanous robe. And
full frontal naked.
Full frontal.
Just like, boom, like it just gives it to you right away.
I assume our audience knows who Julie Strain is, but just in case, she is a 6'1" actress who appeared. She's known as like kind of the queen of the B movies. I think that's a self-given title. But she was married from 95 to 2006 to Kevin Eastman of the Ninja Turtles fame, one of the creators of the Ninja Turtles. So basically, she's in 100 B movies just like this.
Amazing.
And she's very tall. I believe she wrote it's either a biography or an autobiography called 6'1" and Worth the Climb.
What a great title.
Yeah, so this movie is not really noteworthy in her career. This is pretty much the sort of stuff she makes.
Got it.
Oh, she died young, sad, 58.
Yeah.
Really? Of what?
Fell off a horse and suffered from back and head trauma. And
Oh,
had
actually, no, she didn't
retrograde
actually die
amnesia.
from that.
Oh, she didn't die from that.
No, it was reported that she died. I think she might still actually be alive.
No, it says she died in 2021.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. After that, though, I think the horse thing was in like 2012.
Oh, yeah. So it was. But she had late stages. She had dementia. It was reported in 2018.
Oof.
Wow.
And was receiving hospice care at home. So
Maybe it was from
we've
the
got
horse fall.
a couple of actors who died young in this, but some of them are still kicking, and some
it
of
was
them died
incorrectly
old.
reported that she died in 2020. Died like a year later, for real.
Wow.
It was a Farrah Fawcett situation that they report that she died like 3 times before she actually died.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm sad. Now I don't want to say anything bad about her.
Right.
Well, I mean, she doesn't last very long in this movie, spoiler alert, but her character is killed off before we get the credits.
Haphazardly thrown over a balcony.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
But
it
luckily we
made
do
no
get her
sense.
in like flashbacks and like visions.
she's
Right.
basically
So
the Laura slash Rebecca of this movie, where she's in photos constantly in almost every scene.
It's a whole big setup. You think that she's going to come back as a ghost and have some agency, and she doesn't.
No,
I love when her widow or husband is sitting there like he comes home for the first I'm jumping way ahead, sorry, but like we're talking about this now, so I might as well. And like he's just like fondly remembering like the good times. And it's
Yeah.
just like hardcore, well not hardcore, it's softcore
Hmm.
sex scenes. Like
yeah.
he's like, remember that time we just really just banged really hard? That was so nice. And he's just, it's like, you see like the look on his face and you cut to the bed, they're just like going at it. And I was just like, is that what widowers think about?
It's almost like a Naked Gun sort of bit, except, if the Naked Gun were softcore pornography.
Hmm.
Well,
But
all right.
anyway, what is our naked woman doing at the beginning of this movie?
She is doing witchcraft.
Which
As you
requires her
said,
to oil herself up.
yeah,
Yeah.
oil
Get all
herself up.
oily.
Her altar is right in the middle of a suburban living room, lit with the overhead light.
Yep.
So, okay, that's our scene. But she's
we
doing a bit of witchcraft.
Yeah, but we cut to a guy who's driving.
Yes.
So that's what the witchcraft is affecting, presumably.
Yeah, so that's Howard. He is a newly minted partner at a law firm. He
Mhm.
just got the promotion, which I think getting a partnership is a little bit different. You're not promoted into it, but it doesn't matter.
Married to a lawyer. She's an expert.
Oh, I just don't think that's how it works. So he's on the phone. He's got a car phone because, again, he works in big law. They can afford car phones back in 95. He's on the phone with his wife, Amelia, talking about the promotion. So we get all of his backstory. His coworker, Larry, was a shoo-in, but Howard got the promotion. And oh my gosh, hooray. Meanwhile, the witch, Erica, she's got a photo of Howard, and he is the target of her witchcraft. She is causing him to have a headache and veer off the side of the road. He bails last minute, just after his wife gets a feeling, and she's like, "Pull over right now, Howard." Like, what kind of name is Howard? All I want to say is like Howard the Duck. Anyway, so she's like, "Pull off the road, Howard, my beloved husband." And he doesn't, but what he does is opens the car door and bails just before the car like plunges off the road and explodes.
Well, it
Yeah.
looked to me like it plunged off the end of an unfinished bridge.
Yeah, the
Like
end of the
it
road.
just drives off a cliff.
Like
And
you
like
do.
and like why would I mean and he didn't like veer off into the cliff. Like that's how he was driving. So whether the witch did anything or not, he was going off that cliff.
Yeah.
And I would want to tell everybody again, this is all before the opening title card. Like,
Okay.
we're introducing all of these characters and all of these actors. Some of these people might be familiar to you if you've watched a lot of B movies. So Howard is Edward Albert, who's probably he was a Golden Globe nominated actor for his like movie in 1973, but I think most people probably remember him from Galaxy of Terror, which is another Roger Corman movie, a little bit like Forbidden Planet, except there's a monster rape scene. And he is, of course, the son of Eddie Albert, star of Green Acres. And he is our other guy who died young. He died at like 58 or something like that.
55.
From what?
I think
Lung
he had a
cancer.
stroke. Cancer? Okay, yeah.
Whoa.
I don't know these things offhand. I'm looking at these things on the internet as
Is
we're
this a
discussing.
cursed
I'm not
movie?
apparently.
No. I mean, in as much as Linda Blair is cursed in her own life, so Linda Blair is Amelia, and she is, she was nominated for a lot of awards as playing the little girl in The Exorcist. She was Reagan in The
Mhm.
Exorcist. And then she moved on to make a lot of like schlock in the 80s. She dated Rick James. She dated Rick Springfield when he was 25 and she was 15. She did a lot of drugs, but she is our big name star of this movie. I mean, she was working on this movie for 5 days, which sounds actually a little longer than I thought. But the entire movie was filmed in 12 days, so she was there half the time.
12 whole days to shoot this. Wow.
I know. There was a lot of what do you call that time you have to wait between? No, never mind. Refractory period. The refractory period had to be accounted for. So
Okay. She was the only actress in this film who was afforded the dignity of keeping her clothes on.
Oh yeah, there's something in her contract. She's like, I'm not getting naked in this movie. They asked though.
But I mean, like, she's also filming a movie like this, and then she's making like these VHS tapes about getting revenge on people through pranks.
What?
Oh yeah, like she made some of those direct to VHS like how-to videos,
Yeah.
including one about like getting revenge through pranks. I forget the actual title of it, but I can try to drop it in the show notes.
Okay, so we've got the first death. No, not the first death. The first
No, yeah, he
car
just falls out of the
crash.
car and he's in a wheelchair the rest of the movie.
Right.
He
Okay, so
lives.
Yeah.
I like that actor. He did a good job.
I think he
Howard.
was the best actor in the movie, I think.
Yeah, thumbs up to Howard. And then one thing we didn't mention is that just as Erica is like doing the final thing on her spell, another woman comes in and says, Erica, no. The other woman's name is Maria. We have no idea what their relationship is, other than they look kind of the same. So I thought they were sisters for a while.
Yeah, so Maria is Tony Naples. She has such acting credits as the lead bathing beauty in Shopping Mall. She was in Deathstalker 2 as Sultana, and she was also in Dinosaur Island, which
And
is
Munchie.
and Munchie. Yep. Dinosaur Island is a Fred Olen Ray and Jim Wynorski co-directed movie, and I think a
Hmm.
couple of the people in there here are in Dinosaur Island. But she pretty much stopped acting in '98. As far as I know, she's still alive.
I'm
She
concerned for
doesn't
her.
have a Wikipedia page, so I cannot tell you.
Erica and Maria fight. Maria takes umbrage that Erica was doing harm with her witchcraft. And we know that this is a bad thing because whatever you put out into the world comes back at you threefold. Anybody who's watched Charmed knows that.
I assumed you got your witchcraft knowledge through Charm.
Yes, and the craft. Amelia calls with info about Howard's accident. And Larry, who is Erica's husband, he's come home and like he figures it out. He's like, "You did this to Howard." So he's angry at Erica. They fight and he throws her off the balcony.
He kind of bumps her accidentally off the
Yeah,
balcony,
he
doesn't he?
acts
He
like
didn't throw her.
yeah, because I would like to say this character, our Larry, our main character, doesn't actually do anything throughout the course of the movie. He is the most passive protagonist.
Oh, are you kidding me? He
Stuff just
kills
kind of
his
happens to
wife.
him.
He
He
hits Maria
accidentally
a whole
kills his
bunch.
wife.
He knocks his wife out the balcony, and she like falls to her death by doing a half saddle yoga position, and like the police don't even investigate because who has money for that? It's just like, oh, she died accidentally. It was probably fine.
That's probably fine. Well,
Yeah.
her dying words are, "You'll never be rid of me."
Yeah, and
Never.
he's kind of haunted by that. Yeah, again, we have our kind of echoes of Laura Rebecca. It
Yeah.
could, push into a film noir situation, but it never does. But Larry is an actor named Larry Poindexter playing Larry Barnes. And
That's got to be a fake name, right?
I mean, probably, but he had small parts and stuff like Invader from Mars and Elf and Murphy Brown
Hmm.
and Lethal Weapon. Uh, and I recognized him because he played an evil psychiatrist in 2 episodes of Lois and Clark, which, don't rewatch Lois and Clark right now because it stars an ice
Hmm.
agent. But
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah, I do have one question before we get too much further.
Mhm.
So we're at the part where Larry gets home, finds his wife doing magic. He gets upset. He decides he's going to leave. He goes to the bed, pulls his suitcase out from under the bed, and like throws one like drawer full of stuff into his suitcase. My question is, and this happens in movies all the time, not just this movie, who actually stores their suitcase under the bed? S-
I mean, mine is in the basement inside of another suitcase.
Yeah,
Like,
ours are in the garage. So
Um,
and I'm just like, who actually
yeah.
stores their suitcase under the bed so that you have that quick access?
Well,
I mean, I guess when you
his
have,
isn't one of the roller bags. I think all of us have roller bags now, and
yeah,
maybe that
yeah,
wasn't as common. I mean, I did not
maybe.
have a suitcase when I was 13, so
Hmm.
I've got no idea. But yeah, with the roller bags, we have a dedicated closet with, the big winter coats,
Mm.
roller bags, a couple
I
other big things.
think until about 2007, I had these giant briefcase-looking blue plastic suitcases that I were hand-me-downs from my parents from the 70s.
Under your
But
bed?
I don't know if we kept them. We might have kept them under the bed then too. Back in the early days of marriage, we were ready to storm out at any point. So, because they're
Because
very flat.
otherwise, you're just leaving a lot of space under there for monsters. So I get it. I
And
get
back
it.
then, we didn't have the Rubbermaid Tupperware technology that we do now. So we have the little what is it? What is it called? The Container Store.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So with the little big containers full of candles and wrapping paper, whatever people keep under their beds.
Yeah, that's right. Now,
Hold on, sorry.
finally,
Before we get too much further, there's one other really hilarious thing that happened when she's told Larry like you'll never be rid of me. The
mhm.
camera like slowly does this like pan up as he's like with her, and we know they're like in L.A. like in suburbia.
Yeah.
You hear a howl wolf off like a wolf howl off in the background, like oh. I'm just like, there's wolves in suburbia.
Yes,
Sure.
no questions.
No questions. Ace sound design for this movie.
Yeah.
Now it's time for the credits.
Oh yeah.
Now
So
let's get
now
to the
we
credits.
yeah, and even though I clicked on a movie called Sorceress, the title card says Temptress.
Which case I had to pause and be like, am I watching the right movie? I went through this whole thing to like download Hoopla and switch over my like library card from the one I had in Boston because I haven't used Hoopla in like 15 years and blah blah blah. And I was like, God damn it, did I click on the wrong fucking movie? And no, it was just named two names.
There's going to be
Hmm.
somebody working like the Hoopla app and being like, why is everybody borrowing Sorceress this week? Don't they know the internet has better porn on it?
There's like a 300% spike in Sorceress rentals this week. What the hell?
It's going to impact their metrics. They're going to buy more softcore to circulate.
The Bear Wench Project is going to show up on Hoopla next week. I tell you what.
All right, credits are done. It's like they were okay. They're not the worst I've ever seen. Cut back to our fictional world, and Larry chats with Howard. So this is really setting up that Howard's in a wheelchair and that he's BFFs with Larry. When Larry and Howard speak throughout this entire movie, they never say anything of substance or interesting.
Hmm.
Just when those two speak, huh?
And it doesn't move the plot forward at all. It's just like they're gabbing. You're just like, these
Hmm.
guys are talking now. It's like, why?
Scenes
They're
of
All
like,
them
so
that.
should we
talking,
talk lawyer business?
disgusting.
Let's talk lawyer business. Okay, let's
Yeah,
like. I
exactly.
was like, yeah. As soon as I get out of this wheelchair, I'm going back to lawyer business. Sounds good. Let's do some lawyer business.
Well, from
Lawyer,
what I
lawyer, brief,
know,
brief.
having been married to a lawyer, is that being in a wheelchair would not stop them. Losing digits on their hands does not stop them. Getting a concussion does not stop them. This guy being in a wheelchair has no bearing on his ability to practice law.
They can't be reasoned with. They can't be stopped. They're the Terminator.
They do not stop. You got to build those hours. Larry has been staying with his coworkers and friends, like just after Erica's death. He didn't want to stay in his house, but so he's over it now, or he's over it enough to go back home. So we get to meet his friends slash coworkers, Don and Kathy. They are married to each other. Don hates his wife.
Don is the worst. Don hates everybody.
Don is an actor named Lenny Giuliano. He
Yeah.
played Lunk in all three parts of the Bear Wench Project trilogy. And he's got small parts in things like Commando and Lethal Weapon and like, just like Soldier 1, Patrolman 3, that sort of career for him.
Hmm.
Don has a lot of opinions about women and their various skills in the sack. He keeps on saying in the sack a whole lot, which did nothing but to remind me that we don't use that term in slang anymore.
Maybe you don't.
I
But
don't think
Dons of
I've
the
heard
world
that.
still use it rampantly.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so he says he married Kathy because she's good in the sack, and if she stopped being good in the sack, he would divorce her. He assumes that Larry married Erica for the same reason instead of Carol, who we haven't met yet, but
Yeah.
Carol is Larry's old flame that he dumped like a hot potato in order to marry Erica.
We got a Sylvia flowchart of who wants to fuck who.
The relations in this movie are so overly complicated.
Yes. Too many characters, honestly, for a non-Final Destination movie. Okay, John, he's from the firm and he visits Howard at home and he's saying like, "Come back to the firm. You know you want to. These
Oh, but
hours aren't going to build themselves."
yeah, so this is John Geiger, played by William Marshall, who's pretty much famous for two things. One, he's Blackula,
Yeah.
and two, he's the
Mm.
king of cartoons from PB's Playhouse.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, he was done a bunch of stuff, but basically, yeah, those are the two things that people would stop him on the street and know
Yeah.
him from.
And
He died
he
about
had an
10 years
amazing
ago.
voice.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
he died?
Yes, he was very old.
He didn't look
He
that
was
old.
in 2003, he was 78. He died.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know some other people who are 78. Well, he was only in the movie like a couple of scenes. I don't know why he was in the movie.
Because it was a 12-day shoot and they were just getting names.
They
Okay.
should have put him in the movie more. He needed more screen time, honestly.
He's like a real actor in this movie. He's got like no lines.
If he had any more screen time, he would have had to have had a sex scene, guys.
Is that a bad thing?
Maybe not.
Back to Larry. He's moving back into his home and he starts to be haunted by memories of Erica. So this is the preview you gave earlier.
Yes. This is how far I skipped ahead earlier.
I mean, not that far. It's been a couple
No.
minutes in the movie.
Things fly by.
Hmm.
All of the sex scenes are sedate and not imaginative. Like it's just like woman on top and the guy is just kind of a slab. He's just laying
Okay,
there.
well, so this movie, it feels very baby boomer artificial sex scene of its time. You know,
Hmm.
Okay.
it even though it's like constant sex scenes and constant nudity, it still feels like that little bit repressed. Like there's this level of artificialness on all these
Hmm.
sex scenes, and they're always approaching a fetish, but never quite getting there. There's a scene where it looks like the woman is kind of going after the guy's butt, but then we kind of stop short. And then there's like one little bit of toe sucking, but we kind of don't go there. It's just kind of like giving hints at deeper perversions there.
Yeah.
Not just perversions, is a little judgy of a term, but you know what I mean.
So
Yeah.
we got to this scene, and I was like, "What is this Skinamax nonsense that Kennedy is making me watch?" And then I had to remind myself that I reached out to you and said, "Hey, can I get to your podcast?" And realized this was my own fault, and had no one to blame but myself.
Serves you right.
It's along this point where I was like, I
Fair.
rented this from the library. So every other time we've watched one of the, like a Fred Olen Ray softcore movie, it's been on Tubi, and they edit out all the explicit scenes,
Mhm.
which is how we've watched, Bikini Jones, and it's 38 minutes long instead of 90 minutes long.
Right. Yeah, so there's some, frankly, quite dull sex scenes. One including Maria as the third person in their threesome.
His
And
birthday
that's
present, the birthday threesome.
right. And again, who is Maria? What is her relationship up to Erica? No idea.
She is
Absolutely.
also a witch,
Yes.
because
Yes.
pretty much half the women in this movie are also secretly witches.
Correct.
I got to at one point I just assumed every woman in this movie was a witch, and I'm like, do witches just only marry lawyers in this world?
American apple pie, witches and lawyers. Wait a second,
Mhm.
Meredith.
Yeah. It's okay. The thing is, if you have access to real witchcraft and can truly impact the world around you with your powers, why wouldn't you yourself become the lawyer?
That
Right.
sounds like a lot of work. Do you know how much reading it takes to be a lawyer? Gross.
Not if you've got the witchcraft. They're just manipulating people all around them, apparently with no little to no effort expended, while these guys are, I don't know, staying late at work and screwing their secretaries.
For to understand how this movie works, all you need for some good old-fashioned witchcraft is just a little nudity, a little baby oil, and some candles from the mall.
Yeah,
Is
that's
this what
true.
Diddy was doing?
I think
Yeah.
so. It's witchcraft.
Okay, so at this point, I would like to note that according to IMDb trivia, so take it with a
Mhm.
grain of salt, the prop crew didn't have to decorate the house they chose for one of the main locations because it
Shocking.
already looked like witches lived there because it was owned by a lesbian couple who really believed in witchcraft. According to that, they said they had satanic artifacts everywhere, and Jim Wynorski said it looked perfect as it is, so they just left it.
Wait, which location do you think it was?
Oh, I don't care. I refuse to believe there's two different houses in this movie.
There's one big house they shot in different rooms.
They just turned the camera. I don't even think they shot different rooms.
All right, now we get to something mildly interesting. We have a point of view camera of somebody breaking and entering into a home and killing somebody we haven't met yet.
I was so confused by that scene. I was just like, wait, who's this? Who's that? Wait, why did they get shot? Why are we cutting away already? Like, what is the point of
Mhm.
any of this?
Does it have anything to do with the plot? Kind of.
Sort of.
Was it caused by one of the witches? No. I don't think so.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
Was
Yeah.
it?
Uh-huh.
But why?
Well, let me have to think about that.
So while you think about that, I will say
I think we
so.
get some explanation later, but it was not clear.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's not. Okay, so Erica, no, no, Amelia, sorry. God damn, the names are too similar too. Amelia and Howard have a gardener named
Yeah.
Stan,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
and this is Stan's family that's getting killed.
Which
Yeah.
we find out like 20 minutes later.
Stan's wife is played by an actor named Melissa Brassel, who is also known as Rocky DeMarco, who is basically the John Ratzenberger of Jim Wynorski films. She
Hmm.
just shows up in all of them, and
For like
like
two
he is
seconds.
for yeah, like usually small parts. She has like a little reality show about being a stage mom for a little while. Jim
Hmm.
Wynorski, if you follow him on Facebook, is always posting about Rocky DeMarco, and I don't know what sort of unhealthy relationship those two have. But yeah, she shows up here for 1 second to get killed on it looks like a CCTV screen too. Like
Hmm.
but Stan is played by Michael Parks, who was in a lot of stuff in the 60s. He was in a show called Then Came Bronson for like 69 to 70. So really just not that long, but a motorcycle show. And then he kind of like fell out and was hard to work with and made a bunch of shit like this. And then kind of Quentin Tarantino and Kevin Smith kind of brought him back years
Oh,
ago because
really?
he has like, yeah, he plays multiple parts in Kill Bill. He shows up in Grindhouse as his Kill Bill character, and he has a notable part in Kevin Smith's Red State, I believe.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Who is he
so
in Kill Bill?
he is like the sheriff who's like talking about number one son, and he plays a pimp in one of the in I think two.
The guy in Mexico that cut up that one girl's face?
I don't remember the pimp very well, but he is like, yeah, the cop that is investigating the church
Wow.
shoot up scene,
Yeah, I
I
remember that
believe.
guy. I don't remember that guy too well because he was in like a hat and sunglasses. All
He
right.
plays
Yeah.
that same character and also in From Dusk Till Dawn. So he's in From
Really?
Dusk Till Dawn,
Oh yeah,
Kill
yeah.
Bill 1, and Grindhouse as Texas Ranger Earl McGraw,
That's Till Dawn. It's in the same universe as Kill Bill?
That makes
apparently.
sense.
Well, now we need a sequel where Beatrice is killing the vampires.
I think there's already
Hmm.
been enough sequels from Dusk Till Dawn.
I guess. Okay, all right. I'm
I have
sorry. I
seen them all. They're
derailed us.
terrible.
I know
Um,
apologists for the second one, I think.
let's get back to Larry and Carol.
Finally
Blonde
meet Carol
wig.
after hearing about her for an hour.
Yeah, this wig is god awful, but
Oh,
it's
it's a
blonde.
terrible wig, but how appropriate is it that we have Rochelle Swanson come back on the episode where Mike comes back? Because this is our lead actress from Droid
Mhm.
Gunner.
Yep,
It's all
Amazing.
come full circle.
it
Amazing.
has.
Erica's dead. Carol's back in town. She wants to get busy.
It's been
Yeah.
what, like 3 days, four
Sure.
days, maybe a
Yeah.
week.
Erica's not cold yet.
There's like a little bit of reluctance, and then they have like a very complicated sex scene. Is this the
Hmm.
proper order of
Yeah.
things? And then we cut to the picture of Erica watching them from a frame photo, which is the funniest part of the movie. It is amazing.
Yeah, it
Like,
was very
I
funny.
really thought Erica was gonna like come back and start haunting him for real.
Hmm.
But no, ghosts are not real in this universe, just witches.
A lot of
Yeah.
memories.
Cut to the next morning. Amelia is giving Howard a shoulder rub while he watches a porn.
I don't even
The movie
remember
needs
that happening,
more
but I
sex
believe you.
scenes.
He has one line. He's like, "Oh, that's too sexy." Changes the channel. But this is where they hear about the murder.
And it's our big cameo.
Is it? Wait, what?
Fred Ray plays the reporter.
Oh, is
Oh, right.
okay. I do not recognize the man.
Yeah, Fred Ray plays a reporter in this, and he
Amazing.
like his voice shows up later on in the movie. And then they're talking about the murder and all this stuff, but they also take the time to make a Richard Hertz joke. Class. That's what this
This
movie's
is
about.
classy.
Dignity. Always dignity.
Amelia knows exactly where Stan is. He's in their guest house, so she just pops over. She consoles him because he's very upset. His family's been murdered and he is, wanted for their murders. I think she suggests that he go to the law firm and ask Larry for help because that's
Hmm.
he
Yeah.
shows up there, but not yet. Larry has to get to work first and then talk to Trish, the receptionist, who definitely needed a name. Definitely needed to know who Trish was.
Trish is Antonia Dorian from the Bear Wench Project once again. The Witches of Brestwick,
Yes.
Ghoulies 4, and
Wow.
according to IMDb, and this is listed on IMDb, she's also made some foot fetish videos. So we're back to foot
Why?
fetishes.
Oh no.
Yeah, she's in something called like The Beautiful Toes of Beautiful Women or something along those lines.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, well, Larry charges Trish to get flowers and send them to Carol. This takes up valuable seconds of my life and goes nowhere.
No, those
It's
flowers
a
are important later,
very
right?
long scene
Yeah.
for what meant amounted to nothing.
It sure does. So now Stan arrives to beg for Larry's support. Larry does the exact right thing and says, "Turn yourself in. I'll represent you, but right now you're wanted for their like just go turn yourself in. You
Hmm.
can't run and also have me defend you."
Yeah.
Stan goes nuts, takes a very elaborate letter opener and attacks Larry.
There were so many shots of the letter opener that
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, they really are focusing on this letter opener. And then he picks up the letter opener. I was like, oh, thanks, Jim, for setting that up for us.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
we'd be confused as to why he would pick up a letter opener in an office.
It was kind of a lame letter. I have better letter openers.
Okay, so Stan runs out of the office,
He
and we get
does,
our
yeah.
director's cameo because he knocks down Jim Wynorski, who's carrying paperwork.
God, that was such an awkward like crash fall.
That's because it's Jim Wynorski.
Yeah, yeah.
He also drops an amulet. He had been wearing
Hmm.
this kind of necklace with a charm sort situation on it. He drops it. Carol picks that up and she starts wearing it because
Because when a
obviously.
crazy person drops an amulet,
Yeah,
you go, "Oh, I'm gonna wear this amulet that crazy person that tried to kill my boyfriend was wearing." Like, why
that's
not?
exactly right. I
It'll
mean,
remind me of him.
Hmm. Remember that time that guy tried to kill you? I'm wearing his thing.
it's pretty and it wasn't pretty. It was not an attractive amulet. Anyway,
You know,
Hmm.
yeah.
if Larry would have warned her that witches are real, she
Mhm.
probably wouldn't have worn that amulet.
Hmm.
Yeah, you shouldn't be wearing strange jewelry, not in a world where witchcraft is a thing.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Now that we have had some excitement in the movie, it's time to completely stop the momentum. John's back to say, Larry, since Howard's not coming back, you get that promotion. You're the partner now. Isn't it funny how this works out? I remember that you were our first choice. I don't know why we went with Howard. That's a
Hmm.
No,
clue.
it's almost like there's another character in this movie who's a witch, but who could it be?
Who could it possibly be?
Maybe it's the
No.
famous person in the movie.
Who hasn't done anything yet?
Yeah.
Later that day, Larry gets home. His door is ajar. So he's like, oh no, let me proceed carefully.
And stop and eat this cookie.
Yeah, he gets a golf club, he gets a cookie, and now he's prepared for home invaders. It's Maria. You know, like when you go into a friend's home and you sort of break and enter or just use your key that they didn't want you to have, and then they're not home, so you decide to wait in their bed without having
Hmm.
closed the front door. You
Yeah,
know how
I
that
do that all the
happens.
time.
Yeah.
Right, yeah,
All
it's
the
such
time.
a
Meredith,
shared
that's how I found you on
experience.
Saturday.
All right, so they have to have a little tiff. But is this when he hits her? Yeah, he hits her a couple times. She hits him back, which it gives a convincing sound effect, but I don't think that she heard him.
But
He
that's all part
also,
of their weird sexual games. And
yeah,
she was like,
exactly.
haha, I tricked you into hitting me so we could have sex.
Right. Now when the flame down dies down, she's like, "Good, now we can talk."
Do you feel better? It's
It's just so
so weird.
it's just odd. Anyway, he totally opens up to her. They have a heart to heart, being
She was
haunted.
correct. They needed just to have it out like that.
He admits that he's being haunted by memories of Erica, not literally by the ghost of Erica. He's just sad. Maria says the best way to get rid of ghosts is to clean the house. So she's like, "You still got photos of Erica everywhere. Like, take down the photos,
Hmm.
paint the house, throw out her clothes. You just gotta, like,
Gotta move on, dude.
exactly." It is a little soon. Like, Erica died last week, but overall, the advice stands.
Hmm.
She's done with her visit. She leaves and meets Carol at the door. So they are jealous of each other. And Maria sees that Carol is wearing the amulet, and she does not like that at all. All
Because
right.
she is also a witch and knows that's a witch amulet.
Exactly.
Where
All witch
so she
amulets
could have
look
just said,
identical.
"Hey, don't wear that. That's a witch amulet." Yeah, just tell her, just take it off.
No.
Larry calls Amelia to warn her about Stan because Amelia doesn't yet know that Stan attacked him with a letter opener. Amelia is like super chill about the whole thing. She's got a gun, and I guess like this is where we know for sure that she's the one that killed Stan's family. Stan gets there just as she hangs up the phone. He
Wait, how do
confronts
we know that
them.
she killed Stan's family?
I think she's saying something like, "Oh, so sad about his family," while she's like caressing the pistol. I
But I
thought
think
that was a pretty clear sign.
I thought it was like we saw the back of a dude shoot the family, though.
I thought Stan killed his own family under the hypnosis of Amelia.
That could
Oh,
make sense to me too, but I don't know.
And that's
oh,
why he
that's
like wants,
interesting.
why he wants to kill her.
Okay.
Because once the amulet's off, he remembers maybe again, I'm giving this movie way too much credit and
No,
like putting
I'm
I am projecting a lot onto this scene. But like I'm like thinking he's got the amulet, it falls off, the curse is broken. He remembers all the things that he did and had no control over and
Mhm.
realizes that it's her fault that he murdered his own family. So he goes crazy and goes over there to murder her.
I buy it.
This makes more sense than what they tell us in the movie.
Yes.
So this
Absolutely.
is canon now.
Thank goodness you're here. Okay, well, Stan's in the home. He's confronting Amelia and Howard. Amelia shoots him dead.
She goes all Savage Streets on him, which is another Linda Blair movie. If you okay, never mind.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, don't fuck with Linda Blair, man. She will take you down.
Back to Larry and Carol. They're arguing a little. He wants to take it slow, even though they've already slept together. She wants to move in. They see the news about Amelia having killed Stan, and like, he calls her. It's the middle of the night. He calls Amelia. He's like, "Are you okay?" She right away says, "Hey, Stan had an amulet. Did you see that?" Larry's like, "Oh my God, Carol's wearing it right now. Do you want it back? Oh my gosh." And Amelia's like, "That's great. I love that Carol's wearing the amulet. Please tell
Nothing
her to
suspicious about
continue."
that at
Yes.
all.
Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
Now we get to see Amelia in action because finally something interesting happens in this movie. She goes to a full, whole ass, giant pentagram satanic altar.
She's got a whole like witch room
It's
special for witching.
amazing. Yes.
Or walk in witch closet.
And Howard has no idea about this.
No idea.
Okay, was it the first witch to Howard or was it Linda Blair witch? One of the witches says, "Well, you know I do witchy things" to one of her boyfriends, and I can't remember if that was Linda Blair or if that was Julie Strain now at this point because this movie
I
is
don't
such a
remember.
blur.
I don't recall.
Okay.
I don't remember.
There's implicit consent to the witchcraft, is all I'm saying.
Now we get to see Amelia in action. She is using the amulet to enter Carol's subconscious mind and kind of, at this point, she's just influencing Carol's dreams, but ultimately she is able to completely take over Carol's thoughts and actions.
I love how Carol is like giving Larry the third degree about his sexual relationship with his ex and Maria. And he admits like, yeah, we had a three-way one time for my birthday. And he's like, oh, she's like, were you into it? And he's like, why, do you want to do something like that? She's like, no, I'm not into women. Cut to lesbian dream sequence.
She specifically says she's not into women or three ways, and then the
Yes.
dream sequence is lesbian three way because Linda Blair is in her head corrupting her.
She's like, no, you're making me enjoy this thing I don't want to enjoy.
Amelia plants the idea in Carol's head that the more she looks and acts like Erica, the more Larry will love her. So now Carol's kind of doing some stuff that Larry doesn't like.
Yeah, she dyes her hair
Mhm.
black.
And
So
changes
like
her
the
music
haircut.
taste to they're listening to like a specific classic.
Debussy.
Yeah.
It's like because she says I hate Debussy, turn this shit off, and then later she's like, "Hey, let's listen to some Debussy," and she's like, "You don't like Debussy? Erica liked Debussy," and I'm like, "Wow, this movie's really, really obsessed with Debussy."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Is that a Wynorski thing?"
Honestly, I have not kept track of his tendencies towards Debussy. I mean, he might
It's
have
just
made a
like
movie with Gary
very
Debussy.
oddly specific.
Yeah. So Carol dyes her hair or takes her terrible blonde wig off, either one, either way.
Mhm.
Which means
Hmm.
that every woman in this movie now has black hair except for Linda Blair.
Just to make them all the more confusing.
So it's hard to tell them apart, especially when they all have matching breast implants. So
Wait, those were implants?
yeah.
Gravity-defying implants,
What?
just the way Fredo and Lay likes them.
Jim Wynorski does not hide these fetishes. I will say that. There's no holding back on his
Right.
giant fake breast fetishes. So.
Yeah. Anyway, Kathy and Stan, they're in the office doing inappropriate things for a workplace. Good times.
Oh, I
Larry,
didn't mention
yeah.
Kathy is Christy Ducati, and
Mhm.
she has all of 9 IMDb credits.
Oh.
And 2 of them are for movies called The Bikini Car Wash Company, 1 and 2. So, so you may have seen her around.
Yeah.
May have.
They are in the office, and Larry's in the office, and Larry's like, I gotta paint my house this weekend. I gotta get rid of the bad memories. Kathy says, Oh, well, we can help you. again, all three of these people are attorneys in a big law firm. They can afford to hire painters, but no, they're
No.
gonna paint themselves. And Don's bitching about it because it's gonna be hot and he doesn't want to do it. But they show up.
Because Don is not a good friend.
Yeah, it's just like, and then he shows up to do the manual. You can say no.
Uh-huh.
Maybe they're environmental lawyers or something that doesn't make much money.
Not
Civil
to
rights
like a
law?
fancy firm environment.
That's true. And they have nice big houses
They
too.
do. And
Yeah.
evidently, and I think this is what the subtext is that these lawyers are so well off that it's easier for a witch to control the man who's making all this money,
Hmm.
which, okay, is laughable. Control a man who's got inherited wealth. Well, like,
Yeah.
what is Jim Minorski thinking? And then the flashback, I'm sorry, a little soapbox moment. There's a flashback to Larry and Erica being like romantic and in love and fucking. One of those flashbacks where they were just cuddling, fully clothed, just cuddling, talking like how, they're in love. And like Erica's like, I made you love me. And it's just like, yeah, you're a witch.
Hmm.
There's no time to cuddle when you're like working in big law. That man wouldn't be at home. There would be no memories.
Well,
What kind of fantasy life is Jim Wynorski having?
she used her witchy powers to give him a 30-hour work week.
He would be fired immediately, and there is no making partner if you're not billing like 300 hours a week or something ridiculous, Like, what the heck? Anyway,
And
we're
lawyers.
painting the house.
And matching very high cut jorts.
Yeah,
They are so ridiculously like
Those jorts were insane.
they were shorter
it's
than
like
Daisy Dukes. It was like
yeah, and
Yeah.
they're
PG
like
Central.
cut up on the hips too. Like
Yeah.
Like so high cut on the sides. I was like, Jesus Christ, that looks so uncomfortable.
it was like thong jorts.
It was like denim bikini bottoms.
And it was weird that they were wearing identical shorts.
They were exactly the same.
All right, so they're painting the house.
Well, Don is standing there holding a brush, not actually touching the brush
Right.
to the wall. I noticed in at least one of the scenes, and that made me laugh very hard because he's just like doing, his hand is moving up and down with a brush in it, and the brush is not touching the wall at all.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? That's what Don would do. So, honest character moment for Don there. Or for the actor, for Lenny Giuliano playing
Yeah.
Don.
Don and Larry go off. Larry's like, "Ugh, I can't believe that
Guy's got to
Carol's
get beers. The guy's
Yeah,
got to
they
get
gotta
beers.
get
They're working
beers.
hard.
He's complaining about Carol and her affinity for Erica. Amelia is getting into Carol's head and saying, like, don't you want to sex up Don? Like, Kathy's not looking. Meanwhile, Amelia is sort of getting interrupted occasionally by Howard's inconvenient needs as her injured husband. They run out of paint because Larry, who makes six figures, cheaped out on getting enough paint for
Or
the
he's just
library.
bad at math.
Sure, but he said a line. He was like, I was trying to save a few bucks, so he's a cheapskate. Which we know because he didn't hire painters. I don't like, why did Erica want this man? Okay, he leaves to go get some more paint, presumably. Maria comes careening down the road, cuts him off. She's like, oh, thank God you're okay.
This is the closest this movie gets to an action sequence right
I
there.
know.
Yeah. This is very minor, but I feel like one of those people was not wearing their seatbelt properly too.
Oh,
We had the 90s automatic seatbelt,
Mhm,
and
mhm. I saw the same
top part
thing.
was unbuckled, and I was like,
Yeah. You saw the seatbelt thing, and when she shut the door, you saw the seatbelt thing go up, over, and down, and the seatbelt was not attached. That I totally clocked that, and that made me laugh too. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, the 90s seatbelt, I'd forgotten about those. What happened to those?
Yeah, because I clocked that in Jacko at the beginning of this season.
Hmm.
oh,
And
really?
yeah, and now to go in full circle, it was just announced today, so about a month ago when this episode actually comes out, Jacko 2 on Indiegogo. You too can be an executive producer of Jacko 2 for only $2,500. They're
That's a
ra-
lot.
They're trying to raise $50,000 to make Jacko 2, this time directed by Fred Olen Ray and only produced by Steve Latshaw. So,
Are we
That's not a
supposed
lot
to
of money to make a
contribute?
movie.
no, $50,000 is not a lot of money to make a movie. But again, it's also
Especially a
Jacko
high
2.
special effects makeup movie.
I don't know. They might just be using the old Jacko costume that's been sitting in mothballs for the last 30 years.
Okay.
Anyway, things are happening fast. We've only got about 20 minutes left in this movie.
Maria tells Larry, it's the amulet. Larry's like, witchcraft? Maria heads away. She's like, I'll take care of this. Maria
So
careens.
first she says, like, I wouldn't die for you. And then she says, I got this, don't worry, and goes off to, like, risk her life.
I think she does die.
Oh, she gets hit in the head with a gun.
And then as we never hear from her again.
I mean, theoretically, she was just knocked unconscious, but I don't know. Maybe like her weakness was the butt of a gun to the head,
Yeah, maybe she had a
or maybe
career of concussions and this was one concussion too many.
or maybe Linda Blair's just really strong and knows exactly where to hit to like cause
Oh, yeah.
maximum brain damage.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We don't know what Linda Blair was doing before she decided to take over Howard.
Well, and all the witchy powers just seem to be related to mind control because
Yeah.
nobody can use their witchcraft to like heal her husband's broken spine or like,
Hmm.
Hmm.
That's true,
turn
yeah.
bullets into flowers or whatever it is witches would normally do.
Hmm.
Turn bullets into flowers.
Yeah, turn bullets into flowers. It's a common witch thing.
Okay, we get to an exciting scene where Howard catches Amelia in the act. She says she's seeking revenge on Larry on behalf of Howard, but Howard
Hmm.
is BFFs with Larry, and he's like, "Don't do that. I like Larry."
And Linda Blair says, "But I like revenge more than that." And then he says, "If I weren't in this chair," and then she says, "But you are in that chair, Blanche. You are in that chair." I think that's exactly what happens.
I
I think
concur.
so.
She ties him to the chair,
Hmm.
leaves a pistol tantalizingly out of reach,
Really close though.
So you got to tantalize in these softcore movies.
and then sachets away back to her witch closet. Maria breaks in. I'm skipping ahead. Maria
Yeah,
breaks
no,
in
it's nothing of note happens. Yeah.
and unties Howard. Howard's like, "Ignore me. Get the gun. She knows you're here." So Maria continues to try and untie Howard, and
Hmm.
Amelia then knocks her out with the butt of the pistol. Maria's gone. We never see her again in this movie.
Nope.
Meanwhile, at the house,
It's shower time.
they all decide they all need showers
Yes.
at the same
This
time
house has
because,
like enough showers for everybody
Hmm.
yeah, because
and a
he's a fancy
sauna.
lawyer. So Carol is being mind controlled by Linda Blair at this point.
Hmm. Yeah,
Hmm. Like
fully
full
controlled.
blown.
Hmm.
Yeah, and she's trying to have sex with both of them.
It
Whoever she
depends
can get her
on,
hands on.
Yeah.
yeah, whoever's in front of her at the time.
And then she like knocks out Don and traps him in the sauna.
This was like Dawn's one redemptive moment. Dawn's
Yeah.
still a piece of shit, but when she comes on to him really hard, he's like, "No, Larry's my friend. I'm not gonna like cheat on him with you." And I'm like, "Wow, was not
Yeah.
expecting that from Dawn."
True.
Not, I won't cheat on my girlfriend who's here with me,
Yeah,
but I wouldn't do that to my friends, the man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
She was like, "Oh, you know you wanna," and he says something to the effect of, "Yeah, of course I wanna, but I'm not gonna."
Yeah, yeah.
And wouldn't the world be like so much better if people were just honest about what they wanted to do and what they were not going to do?
It's like, yes, there's lots of things I want to do, but guess what? Not gonna do them because they're not okay to do those things.
Exactly. Exactly. I was just like, that was maybe the best line of the entire film.
It really was. Who would have
Okay,
thought Dawn would have the best moment?
so he's unconscious in the sauna.
Yeah.
Carol turned the sauna all the way up.
So then Carol knocks out which of the ladies is in the shower now?
Okay, she knocks out Kathy. Kathy, it
Oh
collapses
yeah,
to
Kathy.
the shower floor, which wouldn't be a problem, but the shower's still going, and it's like gets up to
I,
be like an inch of water just
I
covering
guess
her nose.
their drain must be clogged because that
Yeah,
There's a lot
shower
of
has a nice couple inches of water in it
it
somehow.
does.
there's a lot of long-haired women taking showers in that
Oh, that's
shower.
true.
So
Yeah,
it's yeah,
Eric had really long hair.
they really
Yeah,
need
yeah.
some Drano.
So she's at risk of drowning. At the last minute, she will revive and have no problems.
Mhm.
Don regains consciousness and he starts trying to break out of the sauna, creating a lot of noise, which lures Larry upstairs to see what's going on.
Yeah, because he's back from the store now.
He's back from the
Mhm.
store, like trying to wedge open a can of paint.
But wait, so he was stopped by Maria,
Hmm.
who's like, "There are witches everywhere. Your life is in danger,"
Yeah,
and then he still goes to the paint store.
he needs
I
that
get the
paint.
paint. Maria said, "I've got this." So he's like, "Yeah, she's got this.
So
Nothing to
I'm
worry
sorry,
about."
Larry's a good guy then. He hashtag believes women. So
Mhm.
All right, Larry's running up the stairs when Carol stabs him in the back with a big long knife. Like, he turns around, he's like, "What are you doing?" She gets him in the gut. So he's stabbed twice, which is really bad, especially
and
the
it's
gut wound.
definitely a real knife and not made out of rubber.
Totally a real knife.
Yeah. Why would you even say that, guys? It's
Yeah,
a real
totally.
knife.
Meanwhile, Howard has fully gotten out of his bonds.
I love when he breaks free and
Yeah.
the wheel of the wheelchair just falls off and he collapses to the ground.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what? They just have like the cheapest wheelchair possible. These like really, really rich people have this like really cheap wheelchair where the wheel's just gonna fall off. Like that's
They
what's gonna
just went to
happen.
Harbor Freight and just got the cheapest thing, the first thing they could find, and that's how it is.
Yep. Yep. Right. Carol's like completely gone. It's Amelia. So when Howard is coming up to Amelia and saying like, "Stop what you're doing," like he army crawls to her.
With the gun.
It's a major like interruption. So we're kind
Yeah.
of rooting for Howard because Larry's dying. Don's in the sauna. Kathy's gonna drown. It's a very tense moment. It's sort of tense for the movie.
As far as this movie goes, it's a pretty tense moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got the
Uh,
ticking clock and everything. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. He's on the ground, crawling backwards, and Carol's like slowly walking towards him, wasting her time, basically. When Kathy revives, she dresses herself in a towel and then like attacks Carol from behind and then gets like
Doesn't go to free her
slashed.
boyfriend or her husband.
No,
No,
she just like goes for Carol, gets sort of slashed,
like at the
flesh wound.
collarbone. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and falls and is out of the game.
One hit knockouts. Terrible.
Yep.
That's
But then
true.
Don breaks out of the sauna.
He does.
Yep.
But he's gonna be too late because Carol's going in for the kill. But then Howard, he's the hero. He shoots Amelia dead.
Amelia has been monologuing through Carol using the power
Mhm.
of the amulet.
Mhm.
Yes. Carol collapses. She's like, "Oh my God, what's going on? What have I done?" Blah,
Well,
blah,
she
blah.
dropped the knife, and I was really hoping she would like drop it into Larry's leg or something.
That would have been funny.
And then the amulet falls off of her and then disappears into nothingness.
Yes.
Which why didn't it disappear when it fell off the first guy?
Because
So-
maybe it's because Linda Blair is dead now and it was a
Oh, right.
construct. Because I was
There
thinking
you
the
go.
same thing,
Right.
Good call. Good call.
but
Yeah.
we're fixing the plot holes of this movie ourselves.
We sure are.
guys.
And now Larry wakes up suddenly. He's in bed. It
Fucking
was a
ending.
dream, right? He sits up and he sees Erica. She turns to him and says, "Did you have a bad dream?"
And he doesn't have any cuts or wounds or anything.
Was it a dream?
I guess so.
A
It's all a
very
dream.
elaborate dream where every woman in his life is a witch?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all a
Uh,
dream. The fucking ending.
Or was it?
Or was it? I know you're always like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I was like, God damn it.
I mean, so many of my dreams involve a subplot of my friend's wife's gardener that
Yeah.
I think this movie might just have been an excuse for Jim Wynorski to shoot some boobies.
What? No, I don't think so.
It's like when he's okay, so when Jim Wynorski is doing like an actual movie, they are campy and fun
Mhm.
and a good time. And for some reason, when he's just out there just shooting booby pictures, they're kind of boring and convoluted, and
Mhm.
he gets very single-minded about these sorts of things.
Mhm.
But for more about Jim Wynorski, you can watch the documentary Poptopolis about him and his filming of the Blair Witch Project, available on
Amazing.
Blu-ray.
The
Fantastic.
Witches of Brestwick.
Yeah, I think he also made The Hills Have Thighs. There's a
Oh,
bunch
yeah.
of like
God.
terrible titles.
The
I love how many
worst.
sequels he's done. Like Sorority House Massacre 2, Beastmaster 2, House 4, 976 Evil 2, like
Ghoulies 4 too.
The Return of the Swamp Thing, Big
Yeah,
Bad Mama 2, Deathstalker 2, which we already talked about.
yeah.
Like he's the sequel guy.
Again, like he's a competent filmmaker for on the low budget end of things.
Mhm.
Mhm.
He doesn't quite do the range of Fred Olen Ray stuff.
I don't know. He did
He does
this and
have some-
Munchie. He does children's films, horror films, erotic films. Like that's a pretty big gambit. Has he done a
and
Christmas movie?
he does. Well, I think he's got like a dog who saved Christmas sort of movie.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't think he's made any Black Christmas movies like Fred Olen Ray, so I think Fred Olen Ray might have the edge there. It's
Yeah, A Doggone Christmas, 2016. There you go.
yeah, follow him on Facebook. You can learn all about Jim Wynorski's tendencies.
The Arkansas Women's Prison Massacre. That
Oh,
is
he
a
made that one
mouthful.
too? Yeah.
That is a mouthful.
Yeah, right now, in very, very questionable taste, he is making a movie called Escape from Alligator Alcatraz.
Oh
Oh, Jesus
no.
Christ.
Yeah. And he seems to be using the same women from the 90s as that today that he used in the
Mhm.
90s.
He's
You
got
know,
friends, you
he's
gotta.
got friends, they got to get paid.
Yep.
We didn't mention another Fredo and Ray favorite. This movie was, of course, shot by Gary Graver,
Hmm.
who, once again, is the only person that I know of who worked with both Ed Wood and Orson Welles. There's a new not documentary, biography on Gary Graver out this year, too. So check your
Oh,
local
cool.
bookstores.
Or library.
Probably not the library. I think it's time to rate this movie tens across the board, right, guys?
Oh, yeah.
Let's start with production value. Out of 10.
Uh, Mike goes first.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'll give it 4. And I'm only rating it that high because you told that story at the beginning where they found the house that was already dressed like witches and they were like, let's just keep it. Like if what you have is good, don't touch it.
Hmm.
And so I'm
Don't
going to
kill
give
the
them
lily.
credit for that. Exactly.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and curve it a little bit based on the movies we've watched this season. So compared
Sure.
to Zombie Pirates and Maggots and oh God, what was that other one we watched? Amityville Death House.
Hmm.
This is definitely a 6, guys.
All right.
They actually, recorded sound for the movie and didn't just use the onboard mic of their camcorder. So 6.
Yeah,
It's always a
they put
plus.
some effort into it. Out of 10, how do you rank this movie in terms of effort?
Effort. Uh 3. Just because, like, yeah, like you said, like, I mean, there are a lot of sex scenes and they're very boring. Like, there's no effort put
Mhm.
into those sex scenes other than like they got naked and laid on top of each other.
I will say the sex scenes in this look better than they did in Bikini Drive-In, which had the just the ugliest sex scenes. I don't know. It was like very I believe that was our flat lighting toothpaste commercial sex scenes.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna go 5.5. We're just gonna
Okay.
go ahead. I mean, hey, 12 days. They work some magic, guys.
They did something. Did this movie make any sense?
I've argued for the sense of like, 'cause this is my third time on this podcast, and I feel like with this, when it comes to sense making, I've argued for the sense making of movies in the past, but this one made very little sense. I'm gonna also give a 3 for sense making on this one.
You just have to take it for granted that you live in a world where half of all lawyers are married to witches, and
Hmm.
that witches care very much about whether or not their husband makes partner at a law firm,
Yeah.
and will sometimes use their gardeners in a weird Lex Luthor like Batman versus Superman scheme that's convoluted and doesn't really pay off. Yeah, what did she want to happen? Okay, 3.5. 3.5, guys. I
You're trying to make it make sense. I can
I'm
see the wheels spinning.
And the movie resists being remembered in my head. I'm like, wait, what happened to Stan? Oh, right, she shot Stan.
Hmm.
Oh, I didn't note, it must have been after she shot Stan, we briefly had a cop car on screen that looked like a normal cop car, except below the star, there was a to protect and serve that looked like it was written on a piece of loose leaf paper and just taped to the side of the
Oh my God,
car.
I missed
Oh,
that. That's
what?
funny.
So yeah, but like the star looked normal. I don't know why they needed the protect and serve. It looked just terrible, and I don't know why
Maybe
that
the
looked
car
bad.
they borrowed had like the name of the city on it and they had to cover that part up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that could be. That could be.
You're making it make sense.
This
That's
is
what
what
we
Mike
do.
does.
Was this movie entertaining?
Not really.
Yeah.
I'll give it some points for the end, like the
Mhm.
climactic sequence. There was some thrills to be had in there. Howard like getting out of the chair and getting the gun and crawling up and shooting Linda Blair, like that was pretty good. You were like rooting for him.
Mhm.
When like Dawn after Dawn's like, I'm not gonna cheat on my friend, and you're like, oh, Dawn's not so bad. When he wakes up and he's like trying to get out of the sauna, you're rooting for him to get out of the sauna. And so, like, I started to, at the very end, care what happened to some of these people. So I'll give the entertainment part of it 5. It's not going to be my highest rating for this movie.
I think I'm willing to go 5.5. There are so many opportunities where I just kind of wish they would have done something sillier because Jim
Hmm.
Wynorski doesn't shy away from silly. Like if
Sure.
Linda Blair would have hidden the gun in her very big hairdo, I think that would have made automatic 7.
Hmm.
But as it stands, it's just like, okay. Here's a protagonist who doesn't know how to do anything and just occasionally gets attacked or fucked. And I don't think this movie can pull off a passive protagonist like the Coen brothers can. So just gonna go
The
ahead and
writing's just
say,
not quite there.
not quite there. Yeah, needs a second pass.
You guys, we did
Oh,
it.
we
We
did
did
it,
it.
guys. That's a wrap, I think, on the Fred
All
and Ray
right.
as a producer season. We're gonna have to go back to Fred and Ray as a director, I think.
Good luck with that. And
I
maybe you can get me back again. I don't know. After this one, I might not be asking to. But if you ask, I'll probably say yes.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know how long of a break we're going to take for between the next season, but we will probably have to do at least a Christmas special.
Yeah, let's
There you
do a
Because
go.
Christmas special.
because
Gotta
I
do the
know
Christmas
as of
special.
February they were filming some Christmas movies in East Aurora, and we got to know what's happening there. We got to see the Aurora Theater. We got to see Vittler's Five and Dime.
Hmm.
See,
Now I'm excited.
yeah,
Now I'm
I
in the
mean,
Christmas spirit.
so Mike, where can
Noise.
people
What are you
find
doing?
you?
What am I doing? I'm
Yeah.
still just doing Random Access Cinema with Charlie. We're in our seventh season now, just getting started. We
Awesome.
actually just, as of this recording, just took a little bit of a break ourselves, I think for the first time since we started the podcast, because we both like had multi-week long like trips. We couldn't record enough episodes to cover the gap. So we were like, all right, we're gonna put some other stuff out in the meantime. But we're back to recording, and it's been fun to getting back into the criterion of it all. So that's what I'm
Amazing.
doing.
What's your favorite movie that you've seen so far?
On the podcast
Mm-hmm.
specifically,
Yeah.
Three Colors Blue is one of my favorites. I mean, we've done Seven Samurai and Brother Panchali, which are like
Yeah.
10 out of 10 classics, but like there's a special place in my heart for Three Colors Blue. It's just a special, awesome little movie.
Awesome.
Meredith, what's your favorite movie you've done on this podcast?
I kind of jettisoned them from my brain.
Smart. Got to maintain the
Like most
sanity.
things, I am a premenopausal woman. Most stuff gets out of the brain. If I don't need it in my working memory, or if it's not lyrics from a grunge song from 1995, it's not in my brain.
So Fredolin Ray doesn't live in your brain, but Chris Cornell does.
Sadly, yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a better choice for sure.
Well, probably.
It's an accident of when I was raised.
All right, then I will ask you another question. We watched two movies together on Saturday. Name one of those movies. In fairness, Meredith was very eepy.
I don't remember what movies we watched.
The Bosworth classic, Stone Cold,
Oh, right. Yeah.
followed by Frankenhooker. Uh,
Right. Yes. Now that you say it.
Like, of
anyway, that has nothing
course.
to do with nothing, but like everyone, Frankenhooker's the greatest movie of all time. We should all watch that. So,
It was pretty funny.
I still haven't seen that one. That's one I need to
Yeah.
see.
Do you think is it on the Criterion Collection?
it
Sadly,
should be.
no. Sadly, no.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
this has been delightful. Thank you for closing out the season with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me back. Thanks for
Yeah, yeah.
extending your season another episode. Because I know you said you were thinking about like closing it off, and I was like, but I'll do one. You're like, okay, we'll do one more. So I
Well,
appreciate you
We're
for
happy to
that.
have you.
we had to touch upon Jim Wynorski, and this was going to be our only opportunity to talk about Jim Wynorski in this podcast,
Mhm.
other than talking about him every other podcast in his relation of Fred and Ray movies. So,
Sure.
see you next time. I've been Kennedy.
I've been Meredith.
I've been Mike.
Like, why does it go up to 11? Why would you
You
cap
think you'd
it?
have an automatic shut off after the lethal point of sauna?
I'm never ever gonna go into a sauna
I
because
don't
of
like
that.
saunas.
Seems
They're
like a death
unpleasant. I can't
trap.
breathe in there.
This summer's been
Death
humid
trap,
enough.
yes.
Mm.
Okay, all right. I think we're
Oh,
all
and so
Going Over Our Freds was created and produced by us, Michael Kennedy and Meredith Halsey.
Our theme was composed and performed by Justin Nozick. Find more music for him at Bandcamp. Search for The Plague Physicians.
Artwork by Michael Kennedy. Special thanks to everyone who helped make the season possible, including the friends and family who let us watch these movies instead of this year's Academy Award nominees. And thank you for listening.
If you'd like to hear more from us, subscribe to Going Over Our Freds on your favorite podcast app. Follow us on Twitter at Goof Podcast, and find us on Instagram at Going Over Our Freds.
This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. For questions, comments, and complaints, email us at goingoverourfreds@gmail.com.
Thanks.
God, this fucking movie.